Lee Shepherd, one of the winningest drivers in all of championship drag racing. Thus far, he has won 5 national events during the 1982 season. 1 national event going to Frank Iaconio. Shepherd has all but locked up completely the Winston World Championship title for the 2nd year in a row. Frank Iaconio, the racer closest to him, currently number 2 in the point standings. All they're thinking about now, though, is this NorthStar Nationals title, as the 500 cubic inch Chevrolet Camaros, a pair on the starting line, and a great start for both drivers. It's anybody's race in the middle of the course. At the finish line, it is Lee Shepherd, a 796, 172 miles an hour, a losing 797 for Frank Iaconio, his speed 173. At the finish line, it was less than a half a car length separating the two. As we watch again, they approach the timing beams across the finish line, and at the end of the quarter mile, you see just pulling ahead is Lee Shepherd, your winner in Pro Stock at the NorthStar Nationals. The final in Funny Car Eliminator is Al Segrini. Sits behind the wheel, the body yet to be lowered on his Super Brute Special. Segrini from southeastern Massachusetts is against Frank Hawley, the current points leader in the Winston World Championship points chase. Segrini, by 1/100th of a second, a 596 to a 597, has the performance advantage going into this final round. He has the lane choice over the Chi-Town Hustler, and Frank Hawley is not to be counted out, is he?
Well, these two met once before at the Spring Nationals in the finals, and it was Frank Hawley coming away with the victory there.
I'll tell you, we have seen a lot of tire smoke and a loss of traction by Gary Beck in the Top Fuel final just a few moments ago. And what it means is, could the Chi-Town Hustler have the problems of tire shake and losing traction? We'll have to find that out as he is sitting and thinking about how to leave that starting line, because just a few extra 100 RPM could make the difference. For Al Segrini, he didn't think lane choice made a whole lot. We saw in the semifinals when he ran that 596, it was in the supposed bad lane.
He told me in the pits that his car has been launching very well all day long. He says it's been so consistent off the line, and he feels that's been one of the big keys to the reason he's in the final.
For Segrini, it will be his opportunity for a 2nd win this season. He won the Winter Nationals title, was runner-up, as Marty just told you, at the Spring Nationals. For Frank Hawley, he won the Gator Nationals and the Spring Nationals and the Popular Hot Rodding Championship. He was runner-up at the Southern Nationals. And Hawley is currently the leader in points for the Winston World Championship title. The team of Farconis, Coyle, and Minnick out of Chicago, Illinois. Frank Hawley, a Canadian, the driver of the Rislone Chi-Town Hustler, against Al Segrini in the Super Brute Special. And it is Al Segrini up in smoke, but he's still trying to pull it out. He does not. It is Frank Hawley. 599 as the Chi-Town Hustler booms to a finish of 247 miles an hour, 6.08 seconds, the losing time, as Segrini just a little bit too much power in clutch. From the starting line, we watch again as Segrini losing traction just off the starting line. There it is. Up in smoke is what they call it, and that cost him the race. Look at Hawley glued to the ground.
It's really something the way Hawley's car came off the line. We were talking about the fact that he may have the traction problems, and the reverse is what happened. Look at that.
Boy, but it was close at the finish. Al Segrini gave it everything he could. A fantastic finish to Funny Car Eliminator, 599 at 247 miles an hour. Frank Hawley, your NorthStar Nationals Funny Car champion. A tremendous finish to Funny Car Eliminator as the Chi-Town Hustler of Farconis, Coyle, and Minnick wins it all. Frank Hawley, the driver, he's with Carl Olson.
Thanks, Dave. Frank, from this vantage point, that was just a tremendous race with lots going on. Tire smoke, and it looked to us from here like you had to come from behind.
Yeah, we sure did. We left the start line, and I thought we spin the tires a little bit. I didn't see Al at that point, and we pedaled the car a little, got it back on course, and then I saw the green car, and I chased him probably for, till 3/4 track, and then Austin's got the motor running awful fast today, and he disappeared, and we drove for a little while without seeing him, and as you know, once you do that, you're probably in front, and it run, I guess, almost 247, and that's the only thing that saved us.
Yeah, it certainly was. It seems to me that this is the year of the Chi-Town Hustler. From a point standpoint, I know when we talked earlier in the year, you were going to take it one race at a time. Now it just seems like there's hardly any way to avoid going for the World Championship.
You're right. I mean, we've got some people that we've picked up along the way. They're helping us a lot. Right now, I haven't tallied the points. We're going to count this race. We're probably, going to have a 1,000-point lead going into the U.S. Nationals. We can count 2 more races, and there's only 3 more left. And we're committed now. This is it.
Well, from all of us at ESPN, Frank, good luck for the balance of the season. And Dave, that's a wrap here with Frank Hawley, the driver of the Chi-Town Hustler, this year's Funny Car Eliminator.
The last race of the day in Top Fuel Eliminator. Shirley Muldowney, 2-time Winston World. She has already won 2 national events, to the Gator Nationals and the Spring Nationals. She is aiming for a record 3rd World Champion title in Top Fuel Eliminator. The first woman ever licensed to drive a Top Fuel dragster, probably considered by many today the premier Top Fuel racer in the sport. Marty, you've been back in the pit area. How is Shirley's car?
Well, she smoked a few pistons in her semifinal victory over Mark Oswald. She ran a 571 at 249 miles an hour, but no real hard damage to the car. They're not really concerned about lane choice. They feel their machine can beat any machine out here today. She's confident.
She's also getting herself strapped in, and as you can see, the safety belt's being pulled tight as the crewman on her competition's car is turning the motor over backwards to make sure there is no fluid in the cylinders, to have a hydraulic condition, as Gary Beck sits patiently waiting as Shirley puts on the bright pink helmet in her Pioneer Special.
Now, Gary was telling me in the pits that he might try and take out a little power in the low end. In other words, off the starting line, he's worried about hazing the tires. In other words, breaking traction. So we'll have to see if his strategy pays off.
Gary Beck driving the quickest car in all of drag racing today. He set that at the Winston World Finals last year at 5.57 seconds. He was the low qualifier at a 5.65, matched a 5.65 did Shirley Muldowney. Gary is a 2-time national champion, a former world champion. He knows what the winner's circle's like. He's looking over at Shirley saying, come on, let's get this show on the road.
The tension is you could cut it. You can feel it when you're down on the starting line. The crews, when they move around the machine, their hands are quivering. They're not the ones driving, but they have worked so many hours, so many days here to get to this moment, and everything is on the line.
Gary casting an eye at our ESPN camera as the crews complete their preparations, and as soon as the race master gives them the word, they'll be starting the 2,500 horsepower plus engines and moving into the water to get set for the Top Fuel Finals. When we talk about horsepower on a Top Fuel dragster or a funny car, it's almost impossible to measure. There's no dyno built today that can withstand the onslaught of power from one of these aluminum racing engines developed specifically for drag racing. Coming to life, Shirley Muldowney's engine. Her crew chief, Ron Tobler, her son, John Muldowney, on the crew, taking the starter away as the Pioneer Special moves up into the water box. Shirley took the measure of the fastest car in the sport in the preceding round as she defeated Mark Oswald in the Candies and Hughes car. She's now matched up against the quickest car at this event and also the quickest car in the sport, that of Larry Minor, the car driven by Gary Beck. We'll see if taking a little horsepower out helps Gary Beck. He hazed the tire very, very severely in the semifinal round, and when those tires are smoking, that means they aren't pulling ahead, or the car's not moving ahead as it should. So we'll see if Gary's strategy pays off, and maybe Shirley, as confident as she is, can pull off a victory here in Top Fuel Eliminator. One of the quickest fields of all time at this first ever NorthStar Nationals comes down to this in Top Fuel Eliminator. The final 2 cars, Shirley Muldowney against Gary Beck.
What we're seeing here, if you notice how long it's taking to get this race going, it's not because of anything else except strategy. These two are playing a little mental game with each other right now to see who's going to stage first, who's going to get into those lights. Because if they can get one in the lights there, sitting there for a little bit too long, then your hand gets a little sweaty, and you just may red light.
Also, these engines are very susceptible to heat buildup. And when too much heat gets in them, they really make too much horsepower, and then when you can smoke the tires just right down to the cords. But right now, nobody's thinking about smoking the tires except these two drivers. That's Gary Beck in the far lane, Shirley Muldowney, the finals in Top Fuel Eliminator. Shirley Muldowney, wire to wire, and how about that, folks? Saving the best for the last. 5:67 at 251 miles an hour. Shirley Muldowney saved it all as she defeats Gary Beck in Top Fuel Eliminator. As we look again, you can see on our ESPN replay how this race was decided. A bit of a hole shot for Shirley Muldowney. She moved just a hair quick. You see the tires of Gary Beck already up in smoke as they crossed the starting line. At that point, Shirley Muldowney, unless something went wrong, had the race won. And I'll tell you, nothing went wrong as Shirley records a 5.67 seconds at 251 miles an hour plus, and a roaring cheer for the Top Fuel champion, Shirley Muldowney. The record book is being rewritten by this woman, Shirley Muldowney, as she powered her car to a big victory here at the NorthStar Nationals. Carl Olson, how does she feel?
Well, obviously, Dave, we're here with a very happy Shirley Muldowney and her crew. And Shirley, you know, this was almost a picture-perfect race. I mean, number one race number two in the final, but in this case, number two won the race. How did it feel?
It felt good about 200 feet before the lights. I didn't hear him, I didn't see him, so I thought we had it won.
Well, the World Championship Series is certainly shaping up to look favorable for your effort again this year.
It's a battle for everybody. That Mark Oswald, he is going to be very tough to get by. I hope I do, because if I do, I'll know that I did something this year.
Well, certainly, Dave, the most exciting Top Fuel Championship points chase in years. And that's a wrap from here at the big end of Brainerd International Raceway. And back to you.
Carl, thank you very much, and a great job at the finish line area. Marty Reid, you've been around the pits and the starting line and up here in the ESPN booth with me. What's your observation?
Well, in the final, we were both surprised, I think, to see Al Segrini light up the tires because he had been running so consistently off the line, and then Frank Hawley so clean, so smooth down the track. Just an outstanding performance.
Marty, thank you very much for your work today. Outstanding it was. And our congratulations going to our big winners here at the NorthStar Nationals. In Funny Car Eliminator, Frank Hawley in the Chi-Town Hustler, and Lee Shepard in Pro Stock Eliminator. Shirley Muldowney, your Top Fuel champion, our congratulations to her. Our thanks going to the entire staff here at Brainerd International Raceway, and of course the staff from NHRA for making our job so much easier. A particular thank you going to Fran Armstrong and her crew of spotters for keeping us up to date on all the action at the NorthStar Nationals. We hope you've enjoyed the racing, because this has been one tremendous drag race. For Marty Reid, for Carl Olson, I'm Dave McClelland saying so long from Brainerd International Raceway.